Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sylvia with Pine Kiko goats, and in today's video I'm going to be training my show weather, and also stay tuned to the end where I'm going to show you some footage of my sister and I milking our neighbor's goat. So stay tuned for the end and watch this video as I work on training Loki, my show weather, getting him all ready for fair. Today I'm going to be practicing showing Loki, training him, and getting ready for the fair. So the fair is in 2 months. I'm planning on showing Loki as a market weather, and Kiko's 2 babies, Candy Apple and Kettle Corn, as dairy dolings, and possibly Primrose as a market weather dam. In other words, a meat goat doling as well. So we'll have to kind of see which goats I can train and do the best with, which goats have the best conformation, but that's my ideas for who I'm going to show this year. So in today's video, I'm just going to be working with Loki, my market weather, and I'm going to be training him to walk and maybe doing a little bracing and stacking as well. So as we go along, I'll show you how that's done. So when you're starting off showing a market weather, I like to start with the halter. I made this simple halter out of some fleece and some paracord rope. So this is really simple to make. My bigger halters that I got from the co-op store didn't fit my smaller goats, so I made this one, and it works really well for starters. So I'm going to start by walking him around the ring. Good, Loki. So when you're walking your goat around the ring at fair, you always want to keep your goat between you and the judge. So we're pretending that the judge is in the middle of the ring. So I want my goat to be able to be seen by the judge easily. So when you're first starting off training your goat, they might pull on the halter a little bit, but you gotta keep working with them. Loki's doing better than he used to, but he's still pulling a little bit. So I'm working with him on the halter. And they get better the more you practice. Alright, so after making a full circle or so around the ring, the judge will ask you to stack up your goat. And so I'm going to start off by stacking Loki with the halter on, and then I'll switch to the show collar. But a basic idea of stacking is to get their front legs and back legs in a position where the judge can see the body of your goat and see what the goat's body conformation and what it looks like in the best possible way. So we're going to be stacking the front feet up straight underneath, and the back feet are going to be out like so, because you want to be showing that goat's muscle. Loki isn't the most muscliest of show weathers, and he doesn't have the most meat on his bones, but he's a pretty good looking show weather for a Kiko. Usually people use Boer goats because they have more meat on them, but I really like working with the Kiko breed, and this is the breed that I am breeding and showing. This is my main breed for my breeding program, and I don't have my Savanna goats yet for showing. So Loki will have to do. Now for bracing, after you have your goats stacked, you want their head to be parallel, and you want them to be leaning into your leg. And so he'll be pushing up against me. That's what you want. It'll take some time though to get him in the correct position. You can also pick up with their chest and get their feet to be set in the correct positions. You also want their back to be straight, so you can kind of press down with a few fingers and get that back straight. So he's not cooperating 100% for me today, but I just got to keep working with him and get him to the level that I want him to be, all trained up and ready for fair. So now I'm going to go get my other show collar, and I'm going to practice with the next step of collar to use. Alright, I have my other show collar on. This one is a simple cotton fabric collar that slips over your head. This is the next step after working with your halter, and you want to start getting them used to having this type of collar around their neck. And yes, they may choke a little bit, but you just have to keep working with them and getting them used to that around their neck. And they'll get used to it, and they'll start keeping their head up better as you keep working on it. And then the next collar that I'll be using is my leather and chain show collar. This has a leather loop to hold with my hand and a chain to go around his neck. So I'm going to be adjusting this collar to fit Loki. It's adjustable, so you can make it fit whatever size goat you need. When you're starting onto the collar leads, you can also use a halter as well as the collar leads if you need to work with both at once to get your goat used to it. You do what's called a 3-step pivot whenever you want your goat to be on the opposite side of you, because again, you want the judge to be able to see your goat the best they can. It's like an Oreo cookie. So your goat is the cream filling, and you are on one side of the sandwich and the judge is on the other. See, this will take some getting used to for sure. Because the goat may be a little choky at first, and that's perfectly normal as they're getting used to having this around their neck. And you don't want the legs to be too far out. You want them to be just enough to show off the muscle that's in your goat. And you want it to be almost a natural stance. Let's do a chest view.
The lighting is weird because it's really dark. Now Sylvia's at the milking stand.
Yeah, milking Magnolia. Oh man, I keep spraying myself with milk because the bucket's at a weird angle.
You're like me.
She's very easy to milk.
Compared to goats at home.
You see how big her udder is?
Yeah, hopefully she doesn't. Last time she kicked over the bucket and it spilled like half the milk.
On me.
But this time we're gonna make sure that the bucket of milk does not tip over. Going to the goats? Yeah, you can go in. So Brianna's milking Magnolia. She's a Nubian. Here's Magnolia. She's a pretty goat. And she produces a lot of milk. So Briana and I are here milking her today. This is our neighbor's goat. And we're just milking her while he's out of town. Don't let that milk spill. You're doing good.
All right. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Today I was just going over some basic training of showing Loki my show weather, and also I hope you enjoyed that footage of my sister and I milking our neighbor's goat. And thanks so much for watching. If you want to see the playlist where I was working with Karma the Boer goat, who I was hoping to show at the Spring Classic show, click right here.